Boy, Orange fans, you gotta wonder if the Post Standard is right. Maybe the Orange have turned the corner. But you gotta wonder, is this a version of the 1980 Cleveland Browns come to the 2012 Syracuse Orangemen? This is the second time the Orange actually were the cardiac kids of college. Remember how they took care of South Florida with that last second touchdown? They do almost the same thing with Missouri. And Missouri almost started to take it to us right away, opening up with 2 touchdowns on their first 2 drives. And here I am thinking, oh Lord, it's going to be another egg we've laid on the road. But something happened on the way to going bowling. Because you know what? They make those adjustments. Syracuse is able to play with the Tigers. And there was no stopping Alec Lemon. Boy, did he have a monster day. 12 catches for 224 yards, including the winning touchdown where he was wide open going down the sideline. Marcus Sales didn't have too bad a day himself. Heck, with 8 catches, Sales was a bargain. Well, what about Lemon? He's become the go-to guy for the Orange. He had a monster game in their win against Louisville last week, and he has probably one of the best games any Syracuse wide receiver has ever had. There was no stopping him. Of course, I could say Lemon made lemonade, but you know, in honor of Mary Jo, who I'm going up to see for Thanksgiving, he took that lemon and he made some nice limoncello. Ooh, that nice Italian liqueur, smooth going down. Well, enough about that. 6-5. And you know what? For the second time in 3 years, we're going bowling. And a few games ago, I was kind of thinking, how the heck are we going to get this team turned around? And me and probably quite a few others in Orange Country were calling for Marone's head. Well, you know, maybe his philosophy is starting to work. We're 6-5, and we got a pretty darn winnable game left for the regular season against Temple. But now I wonder where we're going to be going bowling. We have our choice of several bowls. All the reports place us at either the Pinstripe Bowl or the Russell Athletic Bowl. Pinstripe Bowl seems the more viable option, especially because all the alumni down there around New York City. And Yankee Stadium was magical to us a couple of years ago when we beat Kansas State. And I mean, for our opponent in the Pinstripe Bowl, they project it could either be Iowa State, and that's a whirlwind of activity with them Cyclones, or it could be a resumption of a great rivalry. We could have Dana Holgerson and West Virginia coming in to the Yankee Stadium. That would be something. Syracuse and West Virginia in a bowl game. Although I kind of think it's a more natural fit in the regular season. Why West Virginia had to go to the Big 12 is beyond me. Oh well, 6-5. Let's beat Temple on Friday morning after having our fill of turkey. And let's finish 7-5. Then we'll see where we're going to go bowling, shall we? And while we're on a good subject, let's talk about the Buffalo Bills taking it to the Fish. But you know, it wasn't the big score I expected. It's maddening for me what's going on with the Bills. Heck, when McKelvin took that punt back for a touchdown, I thought, here we go, the momentum's going to carry us through the game. But then they get in the red zone, and they make me want to do this. Yeah! Oh, no hair. Well, I got a little bit there. But I mean, 4 times they drive into the red zone, and then they stall. Must be like that old jalopy Jack Benny drives. Riding along nice. And then we get in the red zone. So what do? we rely on Ryan Lindell 4 times. But 7 points is better than 3 points. Can't we get that through Ryan Fitzpatrick's head? Oh, he's got a Harvard education. Why can't he get it through his Harvard head that 7 points is better than 3 points? And of course, Chan Gailey and Buddy Nix with their Southern fried philosophies. Heck, I'd rather have a little chicken myself. But Gailey, I know you kind of speak the truth, but hey, we got to have a better output from the offense because the defense finally lived up to expectations against the Dolphins. But Buffalo's always got to make it interesting. Heck, Miami started driving down the field to maybe take the lead and win the game. But then there were a couple penalties called. I just don't know with this team, Well, I mean, it was a win's a win, but I mean, Buffalo, it's maddening what's going on. 19-14, but we may need a little bit of luck coming up this Sunday. And by luck, I mean Andrew Luck, the number 1 draft pick this year, and the Indianapolis Colts. And so far, he's showing why he was the number 1 draft pick. Or I should say is. Oh, whatever tense you think of. Indianapolis is a tough opponent because it's in their stadium. That was built 20-some years after the Hoosier Dome opened. That was a waste of taxpayer money, if I do say so myself. The Hoosier Dome opened in 1984, and it was demolished 2-3 years ago. 26 years it lasted. That was a waste of money. Of course, if they want to put it into Lake Michigan or something, that would be the reef of their worries. And let's go back to University Hill, shall we? And it was opening game for the Orange basketball team. And guess where old you-know-who was? Section 104, sitting up there with a good bird's eye view down on the court, sitting right next to the Panucci family, who's got a long, big tradition there on the hill, because John played with Jim Brown on the football team, and his granddaughter, Lizzie, is a senior this year for Syracuse, and she's in the sports department for her studies. But I got to see a nice little game. Good opening win, even though it took a while to get our sea legs against the Seahawks. Boy, those Seahawks gave us a little trouble. But then, Brandon Trish and all the others, Raheem Christmas slamming it down, and also Trevor Cooney, who also had the audience with bated breath waiting on his every shot. And it was a nice opening game for the 3 freshmen. For the 2 freshmen, I should say. Although you can say Trevor Cooney's a redshirt. DeJuan Coleman, Jeremy Grant. Nice little opening games in an 88-57 rout of Wagner. And this week, we got Princeton coming up the night before Thanksgiving. And also Colgate on Sunday. Our good old neighbors from 15 miles down the road. Or I should say, down Route 92 or down US 20. Nice little opening game, Orangemen. Or I should say, Orange men's basketball team, as we don't say Orangemen anymore. Their political correctness. Oh, I don't know. Of course, we can say Orange women's basketball team. Well, whatever, it was a nice opening win. And I'm also going to have my 2 little tidbits for other stories. What is with this dearth of talent shows that are now on TV? We now got The X Factor, The Voice, and our old standby American Idol on. Because this past weekend, I heard a song from an artist that reminded me of why, if you win these talent shows, doesn't guarantee you're going to have success. Heck, I listened to an old American Top 40 this past weekend that had the first winner of what was the big talent show in the 80s, Star Search, Mr. Sam Harris, the original American Idol. But you know, he only had one top 40 hit, and it didn't suit his vocal style, and he had to wear some pretty loud clothes, and for a Caucasian showing off some weird dance moves. Although in the video to the song, which is laughably titled Sugar Don't Bite, he gets to dance with a babe. But you know, after that, his star went pfft. And I mean, aside from Kelly Clarkson, what have a lot of the other winners of American Idol done? Nothing. You don't hear about anybody on the X Factor or The Voice doing anything. What is with all these talent shows? Although you can make a bit for So You Think You Can Dance. But I give something to all those winners and to Sam Harris, who kind of has resurrected his career doing some acting and doing some Broadway. Sugar does bite, but don't sprinkle it on me. And last but not least, I want to talk about this that happened up there at Eastview Mall. Seems as though, even though it's the time of year that the Salvation Army starts their kettle drive, seems as though there was one yutz up there who decided that he was going to spit on one of the workers. What is with this guy? But I do have to say, from hearing this guy's backstory, it's a wonder. Heck, he's a drunk, and it looks like his main ambition in life is to pee in the parking lot, 'cause I guess he wanted to pee right against the wall there for the Sears store. Boy. And then he walks up and says, I'm going to spit on you. And he does. And of course, you know what that does, get him arrested. Well, this guy is a real yutz to begin with. Those Salvation Army people are out there, especially when it's cold and rainy, ringing that bell. And I know that bell does get annoying, but heck, you don't spit on anybody who's trying to raise money for the needy of this community. Heck, if my cousin, who's an Annapolis grad, was still in the Navy, you know what he'd do for doing that? You know what he'd make you do? He'd make you clean spittoons until every spittoon is clean at his Navy base. And you know what you do if you clean enough of those loving cups? You can expect a rate in the Navy. But you know, it's not good to spit, especially on me, 'cause you know what you get if you spit on me? You're gonna get this right in your face, you yutz. And on that note, I'm gonna say, Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Have a good, safe Thanksgiving. I'm Ken Haas. That's my story for this week. And let's go bowling, shall we?